All right, so we are in the admin users page where administrators can list all the users who are currently registered with the system. Other things that they could do here maybe is remove a user or add new users or update somebody's profile, maybe change their roles, add roles, remove roles. So we need to protect this page, right? It's a very powerful page. So let's see how we can do that. So we need to do that on the server, right? Because that's our source of truth, right? That's the only place where there's no way that, well, unless they hack and log into the machine, right? Perhaps they could do something. But from the client side, from the browser, outside of our firewall, right? Even if they are able to, fool the browser into letting them navigate here and see this page, they should not be able to see any of their data. And the only place to protect that is on the server side. So on the server side, what we want to do is that this find all users. What we'd like to be able to do is here we could put some logic. We could put some logic. We can say, well, I have the request user right here, right? I could fail this query, right, and just say, something like, if request.user.roles, right, and check to see whether it has an index of admin, right, then do something or not do something. Okay. The problem with implementing it this way is that you'll find yourself doing this if statement all over the place, right? Because not only do we want to protect this one function, right, we also want to protect being able to create new users, being able to update a user, being able to delete a user, being able to do all sorts of things, change roles, change passwords, change. So there's going to be lots and lots of use cases that we want to do this logic, right? So we don't want to repeat ourselves over and over, right? So what instead we're going to do? Instead, what we're going to do is that we're going to encapsulate that logic in a single function. We could say function isAdmin. Right, and this isAdmin is going to be it's a function that we want to run. We want to run this function for all requests, right, that we want to protect, and we want to check to see if this person is an admin, right, including this find all users. This is just one of them, and so we would like it to participate in the same request. We wanted to intercept the incoming request, right? And right away, just block any requests that don't meet a particular criteria. So, for instance, we like to do something like, if request.isAuthenticated, right? Certainly. Same idea we had earlier, right? Is it authenticated? Does the current user have in the roles index of admin greater than -1? So if that's true, what we'd like to be able to do is say, okay, well, go ahead. You can keep going whatever you were doing. All right, I've verified it. I've checked to see this is true. Go ahead, continue. Wherever you were going, go ahead. Right. So that what Node.js allows us to do is add this function in front of anywhere we want to protect. Right? For instance, we like to intercept just what Passport did. Right? That's exactly what Passport is doing. Passport, right? It's intercepting our request, right? And running some logic and either letting it through all the way to login or aborting it and then sending you back. We like to have something similar. Okay, so there it is. So this is our function, right? That we would like to intercept the request, and then decide whether letting it through or not. So the way we do that is by, again, we're going to receive the request, the response, and another function, right? Express passes us another function that says, do you want to go to the next? Whoever is in the next chain in the request, do you want it to go? We want to go next, right? I can either abort the request and I'm going to generate the response immediately, or whoever's next in the chain of the request handlers, then just let it through. In our case, it would be find all users, right? Find all users. So if this is good, if you pass my criteria, I'm going to call next, meaning go ahead, let it through wherever you were going. Go ahead, you can go. Or else, if you're not authenticated and you're not an admin, I'm going to abort and send back a response immediately. Right? So this just chops it down and says kills the request and generates an immediate send status for one unauthorized. Right? So even if you are able to request, right? For instance, I can. Notice that I can, right? Just say localhost 3000 API assignment user. Notice that I get all the data. See that? Right? Nothing's stopping me from getting that data. I don't have to even get to this page, right? Right. So it's not checking any login, right? Even if I'm not, if I'm logged in as Bob or Poe, that they're not admin, the request is open to everybody, right? So we want to also protect not only being able to navigate to a page, but we also want to protect the access to the web server's endpoint, right? So this is what we're doing, right? We're putting in front of the endpoint, right? In front of this endpoint, we're saying first check if it's an admin, and then let them through or not, right? And if not, then just send them back with a 401. So let's try that. Let's restart the server. If I restart the server and I try to, notice that now I can't do it anymore. See, I'm trying to ask for the users, and it says, nope, you don't have the cookie you don't have any cookie, right? And if you had a cookie, it doesn't match with a user that has a particular role, right? So here I am at the admin user page, right? And if I refresh, notice that it kicks me back and says, no, you don't even have access to this page, right? But if I had access, it would not have returned any data. So if I indeed I log in as an admin and go to the admin page, go to users, it shows the content because I am an admin. That makes sense, all right? And not only do I want to protect the find all, I want to protect all the use cases that an admin could do. For instance, being able to remove a user, right? That should be protected. Okay. So let's play around with that next.